Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the November 16th edition of Carolina Week.
I'm Andrea Blanford. Tuition rates are going up, and some of the money isn't going to the university.
I'm Jordan Harris. Carolina students and a prominent dean weigh in on the healthcare insurance reform debate.
In sports, the football team locks up a trip in December, and we're thanking the seniors for a strong start to the men's basketball season.
Weathercaster Katie Craven will tell us how long these mild seasonal temperatures will last.
All that and a place that gives the homeless a sense of belonging.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Some students say tuition increases have become all too common at Carolina. Good evening, I'm Lauren Magaha.
And I'm Chris Neal. Thanks for joining us. Out-of-state students say the latest increase will affect their ability to stay in school. The possible tuition hikes have those students crying foul, and top university officials are set to begin a game of tuition tug-of-war with the General Assembly. Andrea Blanford joins us now live in the newsroom. Andrea, what has students so upset about this increase?
Chris, the state legislature is mandating that some of that extra tuition money will flow directly into the state's general fund, essentially helping to pull North Carolina out of this budget crisis. But university officials are saying the recession is exactly why students can't afford to pay more.
I'm actually graduating 1 year early because it's too expensive to stay here, so I won't be transferring, but I can't afford to stay here any longer.
President of the Out-of-State Student Association, Ryan Morgan, knows a good portion of the tuition hikes keeping him from returning to Carolina next year will go to solving North Carolina's budget crisis. And UNC President Erskine Bowles knows what else will happen if the legislative tuition increase goes through.
We won't have the money we need for need-based aid. We won't have money for graduation and retention. We won't have money.
The General Assembly is looking to set tuition rates that will raise all existing rates by $200 or 8%, whichever is less. This is why Bowles will ask the board to propose an alternative plan to the legislature. He wants at least half of this revenue to stay on campus to fund financial aid and other critical campus needs. Bowles says his priority is the taxpayers of North Carolina, so the Board of Governors will cap its increase at 6.5% for all resident students.
I don't have the same feel for out-of-state students, and I know that's not popular with out-of-state students.
While Chancellor Thorpe will push for a lower 5.2% increase for both resident and non-resident students, Morgan says administrators are sending a clear message.
They're raising tuition by the maximum possible 6.5% on out-of-state undergraduates, so I think we are cash cows.
Bowles disagrees, saying the value of their Carolina education far exceeds their cost.
I think it's just the opposite. I think they're the luckiest people in the world.
Out-of-state students who aren't feeling so lucky can voice their concerns tonight at Student Government's Town Hall meeting. It starts at 7:30 in the Student Union.
Okay, Andrea, tell us exactly how much money are we talking about with the different proposals?
Well, if we look at the 6.5% increase the board is pushing for, out-of-state students could pay more than $1,400. The chancellor's 5.2% increase would mean an $1,100 increase for out-of-state students. But of course, President Bowles is keeping that $200 ceiling for in-state students, North Carolina's taxpayers.
Okay, that's Andrea Blanford starting us off tonight live in the newsroom. Thank you.
Prosecutors are moving forward with their plan to seek the death penalty against Demario James Atwater, despite defense motions to strike capital punishment in the case. Atwater is charged with the death of former student body president Eve Carson. Despite her popularity on campus, there are still mixed opinions about the appropriateness of the death penalty.
I think it's easy for people here to want to go after that just because Eve meant so much to this university. But I think that in any case, the death penalty shouldn't be sought.
I do think they should seek the death penalty because I feel like it's wrong to kill somebody, and especially in her case because I feel like she was a student just like me.
The federal trial is set for May 3rd, and the date for state proceedings is still pending.
Some UNC seniors will recognize a familiar face at the May 2010 commencement ceremony. New York Times bestselling author John Grisham will speak at this year's graduation. Chancellor Thorpe, along with a committee made up of students and administrators, say he's the perfect choice for a commencement speaker. His daughter is a UNC alumna, and his wife, yes, his wife, is a junior English major here at UNC. The commencement ceremony will take place on May 9th at 9:30 a.m. in Kenan Stadium.
The healthcare reform debate continues to dominate discussions in Washington, D.C. Jordan Harris is reporting from our third-floor studio. Jordan, how's the debate playing out here on campus?
Lauren, as the Senate works to help determine the fate of healthcare reform, Carolina students have strong opinions about the issue, and so does the dean of the medical school. UNC senior Ashley Harrington is a member of UNC's Organizing for America, a national organization supporting President Obama. She says healthcare reform is an important issue for students.
A large proportion of the people who are uninsured are people who are fresh out of college. To graduate, I want to have insurance, don't you?
The chairman of College Republicans, John Ike, said the bill passed by the House will cost more than $1 trillion in the next 10 years.
The country right now is spending itself into a massive debt that ultimately will have to be paid off. And it's going to be paid off by our generation.
UNC junior Elizabeth Goodman's also concerned about the cost of health care reform and thinks if this bill passes in the Senate, doctor salaries might take a hit.
It's going to be less incentive to even go into the field of medicine.
This will affect Goodman's future, but to the dean of UNC's School of Medicine, William Roper, this issue means everything right now.
The challenge for us as a nation is to figure out how to get control of healthcare costs without sacrificing the good things that we enjoy.
If the healthcare reform bill is passed, Dean Roper says the government would pay hospitals for care they are currently giving away to uninsured patients.
They don't have health insurance, and so they don't get ready access to hospital services or doctor visits or the things that the rest of us enjoy.
But as we've heard for months, critics of the public option claim that the government isn't built to run such a massive program efficiently.
So Jordan, what's the next step in the process?
Lauren, there's a long way to go before Congress determines what's going to happen with health care reform. If the Senate passes its own version, both houses will need to approve the final compromise bill.
Okay, Jordan Harris in the third-floor studio. Thanks, Jordan.
Lauren, who pays for health care isn't the only question.
That's right, Chris. It's also where you go to get health care. Coming up, a look at a possible expansion for an on-campus health facility.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me.
Feed the pig.
You ever think about buying a bigger place?
Just waiting for a visit from the credit fairy.
There is no credit fairy.
How else will I get a better credit score?
Look, you keep your credit card balances low and only open a new card if you really need it.
No fairy?
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
The odds of this daughter of a clergyman spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org.
UNC students might not be waiting in long lines at campus health in the next few years. Elizabeth Lamb tells us why.
When UNC sophomore Lauren Blanchette became sick this fall, she noticed lines and cramped conditions at campus health.
When the whole swine flu thing was going on, that was a little tougher because I did get swine flu and I waited for a while.
But campus health officials have a cure for crowds and lack of space. A new building is in the works. The cost and when the building might open is anyone's guess. The poor economy hindered progress, but officials say when it's finished, it will benefit all of us.
And this is pie in the sky. This is a dream, just to make it one-stop shopping, for the students.
The proposed location of the new campus health building is here at the Department of Public Safety parking lot. Expanding here could nearly double the size of campus health.
Campus officials say the current space is inefficient. An entire floor used to house hospital-style suites that have now turned into storage space and examination rooms, leaving old equipment behind. Even though campus health is cramped, Blanchetta is glad the project is on hold for now.
I don't think expansion should really be the first priority right now, but with the influx of students, the student population keeps growing, I think they will need to expand.
For now, though, any plans to renovate this building and begin constructing another are definitely on hold. In Chapel Hill, I'm Elizabeth Lamb, Carolina Week.
Campus Health also hopes to add more services like dentistry to their location wherever the new building is completed.
The H1N1 virus is still a major concern for youth in the Chapel Hill area, but having more of the vaccine will help. The Orange County Health Department provided free flu vaccinations for 4 to 18-year-olds Saturday at Cedar Ridge High School in Hillsborough. More than 100 healthcare workers and volunteers administered H1N1 injections and nasal mist, as well as the seasonal flu injections, to more than 1,100 patients. The health department plans to hold additional flu clinics after more of the H1N1 vaccine arrives.
Today marks the beginning of the Transgender Awareness Week on campus, sponsored by the LGBTQ Center. Students kicked off the week with a discussion about how the state and the university have addressed challenges for transgenders through the years. Their goal this year is to document where there are non-gender specific bathrooms on campus, as well as reassuring members of the transgender community that they're welcome at UNC. Other events happening this week include the Safe Zone Challenge on Tuesday at 4 p.m., which stresses safety for people of all sexual orientations, Transgender Insight speeches on Wednesday at 6 p.m. in the Union Cabaret, and Transgender Day of Remembrance on Friday, when students are encouraged to wear jeans and black t-shirts in honor of those who've lost their lives to transphobic violence. One Durham program is using alternative ways to help kids stay off the streets. DIG, or Durham Inner City Gardens, works to empower local teens through organic gardening. Kids accepted into the program grow a variety of fruits and veggies to sell at the farmers market on Saturday mornings. In addition to learning about cultivation, the young gardeners get tutoring from volunteers who encourage them to express their creativity in and out of the garden. The members of DIG hope their efforts will continue to grow across Durham, as their garden harvest has for nearly 16 years. I tell you, Lauren, gardening is something you don't really talk about in November, but the way it's been feeling outside, I think you might need to.
That's right, and weathercaster Katie Craven is here to tell us how much more of this unseasonably warm weather we can expect.
Yeah, hey guys, well, I'll tell you, options are endless on a beautiful afternoon such as this, but soak it up while you can because change is on the way. I'll have details in your forecast.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute. How do you know him?
Come on, Donovan, do it like I taught you. Love the new tattoo, Sarah. Let's go!
Dude, what? Dude, that's Sarah. The girl in the pink shirt, that's the girl I was telling you about.
Oh, that's Sarah?
Theater 2 on your left. Hey, Sarah. What color underwear today?
Hey, Sarah. So when you want to post something new?
Anything you post online, anyone can see. Family, friends.
See you later, Sarah.
Even not so friendly people. Think before you post.
So, do you have any questions?
What is your soup of the day?
We have a mulligatawny soup.
Oh, do you have any specials?
We have a steak special today.
Oh, how's that cooked?
That's pan-seared and then...
Does it come with a side dish? Is it grilled? Can I have it steamed? So what do you recommend? What kind of pie do you have? You're an actor. Aren't you from Ohio?
Any questions?
Ask questions. For the 10 questions everyone should know, go to ahrq.gov.
Welcome back to Carolina Week, everyone. I'm Katie Craven. Fantastic conditions outside right now, clear skies and temperatures in the low to mid 70s, making for a beautiful afternoon. Clear skies will stay in place for a while, but the question is for how long. I'll have details in your forecast coming up. And also, as Ida wreaked its Atlantic assault last week, we saw some much needed rainfall, but I'll tell you the good news about that coming up in just a minute. Right now, I want to take a look at the current radar right now. Clear skies all across the Carolinas, except for a few high clouds. This is thanks to a high pressure system located over the Carolinas that can be seen on the current surface map right now. The high pressure over the Carolinas is keeping us clear and cool, but the main feature of interest is this low pressure system that is over western Tennessee, and this will be our next weather maker over the next few days, Wednesday and into Thursday. It will put a few spotty showers into our forecast, but I'll tell you, we won't see the widespread washout that we saw last week, but the rain that we did see last week helped our drought situation a lot. This is as of last Tuesday. We were in a moderate drought situation here in central North Carolina, and as of last Tuesday, the year-to-date precipitation was only around 29 inches, with a whopping deficit of 8 inches. Now, after the rain moved through on end of last week, some local areas picked up some much-needed rainfall. Chapel Hill and Fayetteville both saw around 4 inches of rain, and Raleigh saw right at 5 inches. Needless to say, it was some much-needed rain that helped out our drought situation. Right now, we stand at around 5 inches of deficit, which is definitely not as bad as we were last week at this time. If you're going to be out and about around the state for tomorrow, here's a look at your Tuesday travel plans. Areas to our west, such as Asheville, expect highs in the low 60s and a chance of a shower or two. Wilmington and areas east will see temperatures a little warmer, around 68 degrees and mostly sunny skies, and some patchy fall color all across the state. If you're out and about for tonight, here's what you can expect. Partly cloudy skies and cool. Take a light jacket if you're out and about. Temperatures in the Triangle will be right around 47 degrees. In the Triad, around 48 degrees. Fayetteville will sit at 50 tonight and Greenville at 51. For your Tuesday, this is what it looks like. Mostly sunny skies and clear conditions. A little chilly, a little chillier than we saw today. Highs right around 63 degrees in the Triangle and 61 in the Triad, 64 in Fayetteville and Greenville as well. All right, here's your Carolina Week 5-day forecast. Again, mostly sunny skies on Tuesday, a little cooler than we were today, right around 63 degrees for the high and an overnight low of 49 degrees. Wednesday and into Thursday is when we'll see that chance of showers that I was talking about just earlier. But we will shape things up for the end of the week and into the beginning of the weekend. Looks like good conditions for the Raleigh Christmas Parade on Saturday.
All right, so not a bad weekend ahead.
No, definitely not.
I like to see those 60s, you know, no 40s and 50s. I like to see those 60s sticking around this time.
Very comfortable.
All right, thanks, Katie.
Thank you, Katie.
The Center for Dramatic Art is buzzing with excitement. The next main stage production for Playmakers Repertory Company is Nicholas Nickleby by David Edgar from the novel by Charles Dickens. The play is a comedic and emotional journey of a young man trying to support his family. Nicholas Nickleby is Playmakers' biggest production in its 33-year history. More than $300,000 went into preparing this show, from building the massive sets to designing timeless costumes. It's now showing and runs until December 20th.
There's a lot happening on the music scene at UNC besides Playmakers and Nicholas Nickleby. As you hear there, Hill Hall Auditorium is ringing with songs from Opera Workshop's fall production of L'Egisto by Francesco Cavalli. This opera is a mythological tale full of chaotic love triangles. The Opera Workshop collaborated with UNC's Baroque Orchestra, bringing back the ancient tunes of the harpsichord. Students have been working all semester long learning their own music and translations. The opera will be performed in Italian, but don't worry, there will be a projector with subtitles. The show opens this Friday at 8 o'clock. And now it's time for sports. Nick King joins us in the studio.
Nick, the football team pulled out another great win, but I hear there's something extra special about this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was a big win for the Heels, and this means that we're going bowling this year.
All right.
After the break, the athleticism of the U was no match for Kendrick Burney and the Heels defense.
Hey guys, this is my teenage friend Fred.
Rad! Hey pal, you want to pay attention to the road?
Relax, man, I got it.
Look, my man, if your bad driving gets me killed, you better hope you die too, or I will haunt you silly. And I'm not just gonna float over your bed like, woo! I'm gonna be making a more annoying noise, like, ah! And instead of wearing those long, wide robes, I think I'll wear something more form-fitting and upsetting. The other ghosts will look and be like, wow, we've never seen that before.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, Malcolm, you do know that energy savers last 6 times longer than ordinary light bulbs.
This isn't my room. It's Baron Davis's.
Baron Davis, the basketball player? This is his room?
Yep.
Interesting, because we have Baron Davis right here. Baron, do you live here?
No.
I don't mean that, Baron Davis.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse?
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. The football team that lost to Virginia is nowhere to be found, but a football team on the verge of making a big-time bowl game is coming together right in front of our eyes. Our Emily Hawks has the analysis.
With just 2 games left in the regular season, the football team finally has a reason to dance. The win against Miami on Saturday put the Heels at 7-3, which makes them eligible for a bowl game in the postseason. The Tar Heel defense is now ranked 5th in the nation. Kendrick Burney and Bruce Carter are pulling out the big guns as the season winds down. Burney had 3 interceptions and a 77-yard touchdown against Miami. Offensively, the Tar Heels seem to be flying high. The passing game that has struggled so far this season has transformed into quite a show. Coach Butch Davis knows that the change of tempo for the Heels is a team effort.
You need guys that are leaders, and you need guys that drink the Kool-Aid and guys that believe in what you're doing. And those seniors tonight that got honored, we wouldn't be anywhere near where we are today as a football program last season and this season without those kids.
With 2 road games left against Boston College and NC State, UNC will have to perform at the bar they set for themselves and their fans against Miami on Saturday. Ryan Houston will need to continue to step up and fill in the gap an injured Sean Drone left in the offense. And Casey Barth will need to continue his rock-solid play as well. The past couple games have proven that a consistent kicker is key. Barth and his teammates are a determined bunch.
But you talk to our kids in our program now about perseverance and fighting through adversity, they get it. They know what it's all about.
2 more wins would mean not just a bowl, but a major bowl. In Chapel Hill, I'm Emily Hawks, Carolina Week Sports.
The prestige of the bowl will be determined by the outcome of Carolina's final 2 games. Now, anytime you take something away from Duke, it's worth reliving the moment, especially this one. Here's the #1 basketball recruit in the country, Harrison Barnes.
So now to my decision. The school that I chose to be my alma mater, indeed, the place where I will leave my legacy, had the right balance of both academics and basketball, that which I thought I could achieve the goals at which I want to pursue. Today, I am proud to announce that the school I will attend in the fall of 2010 will be the coach that I'm going to Skype. Coach Roy Williams.
Can't help but smile with the youngster using Skype to talk to Coach Roy. And the defending champs and Coach Roy are 3 games into their young season. As they prepare this week for a trip to Madison Square Garden, the team will look for continued leadership from the seniors. Deon Thompson has been a man machine, displaying phenomenal touch around the rim and leading the team in scoring. In addition to losing 25 pounds, Marcus Ginyard has fine-tuned his shooting stroke. He may look like he's trying to bring rain, but they're consistently falling. And Will Graves, after a suspension cut last year short, has done a great job of embracing his upperclassman status and becoming a leader. Here, all the way to the 10. Child, please. But the cause for concern early is turnovers, 59 through 3 games, and they've actually turned it over more than their opponents. That won't work against Ohio State and Syracuse. And the Heels will need to knock down a higher percentage of their free throws as well. especially if they get in a close game. Now, like the men, the women are ranked in the top 5 nationally. Here's Laura Broomfield Friday night against College of Charleston. Number 33 had a career-high 14 points and 9 rebounds. Now watch freshman Tiara Ruffin-Pratt. Hello, Tiara. She has the outside game to match her power inside, too. And the Heels defense. There in all its glory, watching as it all comes crumbling down. Wednesday evening, they'll host Coastal Carolina. Guys, also this weekend, the field hockey and women's soccer teams advanced in the NCAA tournament. Field hockey will play Friday at Wake Forest. Women's soccer Saturday here.
All right, best of luck to them. Thank you so much, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Lauren, homelessness is a growing problem, and it often goes ignored.
That's right, Chris, but one UNC student is making a difference. Coming up, how he's planting the seeds for a brighter future in the homeless community.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
My name's Emily, and in 7 years, I'll be an alcoholic.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
I'm Jeremy Call, and I made suction tires. Wait, what? Wait. I used a rivet gun to connect the suction cups, and then I just connected it to the tire. I got the idea from an octopus because of the suction cups, and I don't know.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your invention at inventnow.org.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov and let the journey begin.
Homelessness affects hundreds of people in the Triangle area.
Yes, but as Facundo de Villar shows us, a UNC student has developed a program that helps homeless people find their way back to an active social life.
Well, the garden started as an idea.
And sometimes a good idea is all it takes to make a difference in other people's lives. With the help of Campus Y, UNC's David Barron began working on a community garden for homeless people.
The premise of the garden is reestablishing homeless participants as productive and independent members of society and as contenders in the current and future job market.
Garrett is one of the participants and enjoys spending time at the garden.
It's something that's pleasant to do, and I like coming out here. So, I mean, yeah, it's got a value in terms of giving something I feel good about doing, you know, as opposed to just trying to figure out how to make a living.
In little more than a month, the volunteers' hard work is already showing changes from this to this, and from this to this.
Although the garden has already produced turnips and lettuce, Barron hopes to increase production next spring.
Garrett hopes the garden will help erase some negative ideas people have.
Well, homelessness is not like a choice. It's something that happens to people. And once you get there and you get stereotyped, it makes it very hard for them to get out of.
Barron trusts the program can help participants move forward.
But one day he said, David, without this garden, I'd be going crazy at a time like this. I'm really happy that the garden could be there for people like that.
In the future, a place like the Hope Garden can become vital in the process of reinserting homeless people into active social life. In Chapel Hill, I'm Facundo de Villar, Carolina Week.
You know, Chris, I've actually visited the Hope Garden last week. They were installing an orchard, and there were both members of the community and homeless participants, and they all seemed to really get a lot of fulfillment out of it.
I think that's fantastic, to feed the homeless, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. I just think that's a great thing.
It is. All right, well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.